Last time we established that a higher torque constant doesn't actually mean more torque. So what does kT actually tell you? Formally, kT is defined as T divided by I, the torque a motor produces per amp of current you feed it. In plain terms, if you know how much current is flowing through the windings, kT tells you exactly how much torque comes out the shaft. It's on every single motor datasheet, and it's also, as we'll see today, the easiest S. Where does kT actually come from physically? It starts with one of the simplest relationships in electromagnetics, the BLI law. A current-carrying conductor sitting in a magnetic field feels a force. F equals B times L times I, where B is the flux density and L is the conductor length. That force doesn't act at the center of the motor. It acts out at the rotor radius. So it produces a torque, T equals F times R. Now combine those two equations. Every geometric factor, the flux density B, the conductor length L, and the radius R, collapses into a single number multiplying the current. That number is kT. So, when you see kT on a data sheet, you're not looking at some mysterious independent property of the motor. You're looking at packaged geometry, the magnet strength, the stack length, and the rotor radius, bundled into one convenient constant. Here's the trap. For a fixed stator slot, the product N times I is locked by the slot fill factor and the current density. It simply cannot change. So if you wind more turns to raise kT, you simultaneously force the achievable current down by exactly the same factor. The actual torque capability, T equals kT times I, stays exactly the same. You haven't built a stronger motor. You've just relabeled the same physical motor with a different kT number. This is exactly why comparing two different motor designs by kT alone, without also knowing their current ratings, tells you nothing meaningful about which one is actually stronger. So if kT can't be trusted for comparing motors, what is it actually good for? Once you already know the kT of the specific motor you're using, T equals kT times I tells you precisely how much current your drive needs to deliver a required torque. That's kT's real, everyday job in a control system. Not comparing different motor designs, but sizing current for the motor you've already chosen. There's a second, more subtle insight here too. The same electrical power, back EMF times current, can be delivered as high voltage and low current, or low voltage and high current. Designers generally prefer high back EMF at low current because it minimizes the current handling burden on the power electronics driving the motor. Same power, very different bills of current, and kT is part of that design conversation. Let's bring this together. First, kT and ke are not independent constants. In SI units, they are numerically identical because they come from the exact same magnetic geometry. If you already know a motor's ke, easy to measure with nothing more than a multimeter, you already know its kT too. Second, use kT for sizing, not for comparing. Trust it to size the current your drive needs for a target torque on a specific, already chosen motor. Don't trust it to judge which of two different motor designs is stronger. That comparison belongs to the motor constant, Km. So, three constants, three distinct jobs. kT sizes current for a target torque on a known motor. Ke matches a motor to your supply voltage and rated speed. And Km is the one you actually use to compare torque efficiency across different motor designs.